Well, I scrapped that intro because I didn't think it was working. It might be going on in the background now. I could hear it, but I couldn't see it. Anyway, so 16th of April, and Maiden just rocked up, surging across the line in a fantastic breeze. And we got a bit confused, didn't even know they'd crossed the line. We figured it happened if you watched the live. All the flags coming out, all the girls got everything happening, and I wasn't even watching what was going on, and we didn't get the radio call. So, but it was pretty impressive, absolutely. Nothing stopped them. They had a great breeze coming in, and the problem they had with their head foil, for head sails, mustn't have been a big issue. They kept their average speed up all the way through, so crossed the line pretty much as we thought. The last ETA we had a few hours before, and quite a few people out there. They had a big Maiden team, and we didn't get our rib going. It's still not going. We're pulling it out of the water at the moment to work on the engine, and we chartered the boat, so it was all good. We were there, happy to be there, and it was an amazing vibe for sure. So if you haven't seen it already, you'll see our lives there, and you can relive that moment. It was quite an achievement. It's funny, when they the crew on board are just all fantastic individuals. It's quite amazing the things they've been through on the water and off the water, and the way they've managed themselves, and all their little challenges on the way around. They're exceptional people, and it's amazing then to combine that with the fact that they're hot sailors. It's the only way to describe it. They've managed to take on a position overall for the whole race of second at the moment, with Triana still at top billing. And now Triana has to arrive because their IRC overall time for Maiden is now set, and you can see that when you look on the leaderboard for all four legs combined. And so the only one who's got a chance of being above that at the moment is Triana. They had such a huge lead when they left Punta that it was looking untouchable unless something happened. And what's happened is for whatever reason, tactics and weather that they've been delivered and all these sorts of issues has made Triana slow right down on this leg. And there's still something like 800 miles to go. And they have to arrive here if they want to maintain that lead, they have to arrive here a little bit before 5 o'clock in the morning UTC on April the 22nd. And that's only 6 days away, and they've got 800 miles to go. Can they do it? They could, for sure, if they get the right weather and, maintaining an average speed of, 5.8 or 5.9 knots is not hard for a Swan 53 if they've got breeze to sail. And if it's not hard on the nose, things like that. So it's wide open for the grand gold prize, you might say, for the Ocean Globe race, and that'll pan out in the next 6 days. But certainly, I think they'd be feeling pretty proud of themselves, having finished all in one piece. Everyone's got back safely. The boat's in pretty good condition. They lost the engine coming in, or there was some challenges with the engine, so they decided to take a tow from the harbour master. Great people here. They've been helping us a lot. So the harbour master went out and gave them a hand. We had a few other spectator boats out there as well. So it all worked out pretty well, and I'm sure the parties will go on for a long time to come, and the stories will keep rolling as well. Okay, so now we've got less and less boats out on the water, but you've probably already seen that Outlaw broke their backstay this morning. They managed to get a jury backstay up, so they're still sailing high average speeds, doing 8 knots or something that they were, and they're not too concerned, but they're trying to sail conservatively. So we see an ETA of sometime on the 18th in the next couple of days. They're about 300 something miles out, but we'll have a look at that, and they'll be happy to get in and sort that. So I think we'll just go straight to the tracker, and I'm intrigued. I haven't had a look at it at all. I've been too busy, and I'm hoping that Explorer has actually tacked. That's a whole story in itself. Anyway, we're on the tracker, and so am I. And has Explorer attacked? No. Unbelievable. Jeepers. I'm not sure what to say. I just, it's the topic of discussion. So I'm now speaking as if we have no connection whatsoever with Explorer. And I've got to say, I've never seen anything like this. Let's just talk about it a bit because everyone else is, so we might as well. They're currently 786 nautical miles off the run line, okay, or off the average course to go. And anyone that's a sailor would probably realise if you've got this sort of wind direction, there's probably going to be a low pressure system over here. And if there is, then at the bottom of the low pressure system, you've got pretty good breezes. So come what may, it's probably a good idea to tack across and start coming back in towards the centre of the low. And then you're going to hook up with some of this and, get some favourable winds. But for whatever reason, Explorer is obsessed with staying on starboard tack and heading out into no man's land. And I have no answers, so we don't talk to them. Even though we're connected to that boat, we, we're the organizer. We don't send them special messages or anything like that. We treat them as the same as any other entrant, and we're all as mystified as everyone else is in the world. They're now sailing. You can see. I mean, the finish line's over here. So whatever they did, whatever course they did, they're actually, that's not even 90 degrees off course. They're 100 degrees, 110 degrees off course, or whatever. And I have, I would attack by now. Light winds, just get over here. Even if you think it's going down, but it's pretty much turning into a northerly. And you'd think you've got to go back there, but they're not. There's nothing particular about the boat that's stopping them from tacking. The boat's all good. They've apparently sailed off their charts, and who knows why. I don't know. I just completely mystified, and let's hope they tack soon. So they're currently sailing at 3.9 knots, and they managed another 24 nautical mile day. Maybe they're just they don't want to go home. I think maybe they just want to extend the joy and the pleasure of being out there in a beautiful boat. So that's about all I can say there. Moving right along. Sterner is doing 6.5 knots and 125 mile day in a pretty solid and building easterly wind, maybe a little bit northeasterly, but doing okay. They're in the center of this low pressure system here, and it's not suggesting it's going to intensify too hard, but they've certainly got some more solid weather, and they've got a repaired runner and also the D2 up there as well. So anyway, they're happy. They're happy, and they're making time towards the finish. White Shadow, 6.4 knots, not too bad, 143 mile day. And the big question with Triana, 7.6 knots. Now, that's a good thing because their target speed now is about 5.8 knots. They've got to make 5.8 knots all the way in to maintain their actual lead overall for all four legs of the race under IRC. They don't know that yet. They might do some calculations. We will be letting them know that Maiden's finished, so they'll have a time for Maiden. They know her handicap. They can probably work it out if they want. We don't tell them anything. We just tell them that Maiden's finished, and or tell the fleet where it's at, and then they keep sailing as hard as they possibly can. So 168 mile day, 7.6. That's fast. That's fast enough to get them home if they can keep that up. So we'll look at what the weather does there. A big race going on between Triana and Maiden now. Galliana with Secure, 7.1 knots and 156 mile day. Not too bad. Conditions would still be wet and woolly because they're still going close to windward work to keep going. Evrika, 6.7 knots, 112 nautical mile day. Everyone here is having to earn their miles. It's not coming free and easy like it did with Penjuic and the others leading in, that first run with the Esprit de Keep. They were just boring home at 10 knots and so on. Outlaw, 6.5 knots, 179 nautical mile day. They'll be keen to get in now that they've broken their backstay, for sure. So it's it'll be interesting to hear what the moment was like. I'm in my BOC boat. I broke the backstay, and it's a strange feeling when your backstay goes. I got to tell you, I only had one, and went with a bang. A huge shackle, 5 times oversized, just broke, just snapped. And fortunately, it was very light winds. It was in Sydney Harbour. It was after the race. So I'm looking forward to hearing the story about how it broke and what happened when it broke, whether they had to get around up real quick and save the mast or whatever. But anyway, the mast is still up, and I'm sure they've got a story to tell with that. That's pretty quick, but they're the only boats we've got out on the water right now. So let's just roll the weather forward. We'll leave Explorer down there because everyone else fits on the map nicely. And they're in very light winds at the moment. So now we'll get rid of that, hit this, get rid of that, hit that, and we'll roll it forward for a couple of days, looking particularly at Outlaws. See, okay, the wind seems to be lightening down a little bit. We're now coming to 24 hours. It's actually cheapest. Why is it doing this? I was just saying it's getting a bit easier direction for Triana and White Shadow. Sorry about this. It's been very good, but for some reason now our internet is getting a bit silly. Okay, go for windy. Put grids on so you can see relative. I'll just slide it forward in one hit and see. So this is coming up to not quite 1 day ahead. Sorry about this, everybody. We're going to have to do something about this, and I'm not sure what. There it comes back again. Why has it done that? Try that. Nope, doesn't want to go beyond that. Maybe. I can't imagine it's a problem with the system, but that's very strange. The fact that I can wind it in and out like that, I'm not sure what's causing that. Let's see what happens if I hit this one so we can... Oh, there we go. We're over 24 hours. So the wind's pretty much holding the same for Outlaw, so they're fine. Also, the wind direction here, the center of that high up here is not moving that fast. So they've got similar wind direction and they'll be able to carry on pretty much the same course. Triana and Evrika and Galliana have got a better angle, better slant on the breeze than White Shadow on this occasion. White Shadow previously got a better deal, but now it's a little bit different. Interestingly, Stern is falling back into they'll move forward a little bit and hold their relative position there as they go through the Azores. So not too bad. I'll just try and push this through to 24 hours in one hit. A little bit too far. There it is. Okay, so this is on day 2. So 2 days from now, it's going to go very light for Outlaw, and I'm not sure whether they'll get in time with that. So their last little bit's going to be quiet, and they've got the same wind direction. It's very, very little change here for the middle fleet. So they'll push up into this area here and start to go quiet in the next 2 days. Sterner is going to be on the edge of this stuff in the next 2 days. Just to give you a speed one, if these guys are doing 120 a day, that's 240. 240 is going to be about here. So Triana and Evrika are going to be up in this area. Evrika will probably angle around a bit because it's coming from the east or starting to move a bit down, but Triana is going to pretty much hold that all the way through. So they're quite not making a direct course to the finish, but the speeds should be about what they've got now, which is 7.6. So it's going to balance out. So in the next 2 days, I don't think she'll lose any ground on her racing against the clock, but I don't think she'll gain much either. So we'll have to wait and see. And Explorer, surely, oh, look at that. They'll finally have a following breeze. Maybe they'll turn around and go back to the Caribbean, back to Recife or something. Oh, I'm not sure. Anyway, that'll be good to see them moving. So something's going to happen for Explorer in the next 2 days at last. I'm just going to hope this internet holds now and I'll just give you a brief description of what's going to happen with Triana over the next 6 days through to the 22nd, just to see if we think it is realistic that they might be able to, or see what their challenges might be. Anyway, put it that way. I'm going to not click it every few hours. I'm going to jump it ahead to the 19th. So this is day 3. Not looking good at all. So by day 2, they're going to be up here, but then he's got to try and come across and come to the finish line, and he's going to have very light headwinds. That's not going to be easy to keep your top speed around sort of 5.8 knots at all. So that's on the 19th, not good. The first few days are okay, so I'll come through on the 20th, bringing it forward to full day. Oh boy, that's the 20, and it's still now it's looking like super light headwinds. It's rolling around on the nose as he goes. That's not going to be good for Triana at all. I'll try another day. This is 5 days. So just get it to there. There it is. Not looking good at all. You could never sail through this. and so they're going to have light headwinds on day 5. Okay, let's go through to the 22nd by 5 o'clock in the morning. Boom, boom. Very light winds again. So, are they a good light weather boat? They're an average light weather boat. So I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's not looking good. They've got headwinds, and then they've got light headwinds. No, I shouldn't say that. They've got a couple of days of close reaching, and then light headwinds. So Triana's got plenty of challenges ahead, and can dream about the way Penduic closed the finish line. If they had that, they'd be able to do it, but it's not encouraging at the moment. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's challenging. Okay, so where are we on the leaderboard? I'll just look at leg 4, and then we'll go straight to leg 4. You've got IRC and overall Penduic, Esprit de Keep. That's all stacked up, and on Maiden, they're actually behind Neptune now. So not a great result for them for leg 4, but they maintain high averages on the other 3 legs, and that's what's put them in second place right now. Outlaws 43, so that's if they arrive on the 18th at 4 o'clock, probably about right. And then we'll see where it goes from there. So there's not going to be a lot of changes there. I'm going to now quickly roll over to the overall rankings, combined results in IRC for all 4 legs. And we can summarise what's been happening here with Maiden. Okay, so already, first of all, I went through this yesterday. Go and look at that and you'll see what goes on. But if we look at I'm going to go away from the start and look at the recents. Okay, so we've got the recent vector made good, velocity made good rather, sort of average speeds. So the key elements here is, first of all, Maiden is finished, right? And she's currently sitting on top billing, first place, because her official finish time under corrected time is 179 days, 1 hour, 24 minutes, right? And again, based on the average speed of 5.6 knots, which is the average speed that Triana has done in the last 24 hours, say, that gives her an estimated finish date and time of April the 22nd at about 2:48 in the afternoon, UTC. Okay, and on that, if they did finish at 2:48 in the afternoon, their official time would be 179 days, 10 hours and 10 minutes. So they would then be basically 9 hours and 10 minutes behind Maiden. So Maiden would win the IRC placings. But remember, this is based on an average speed of 5.6. And what I said to you before, if they can manage an average speed of 5.8 or 5.9, they will actually arrive quite a bit earlier than, over 10 hours earlier than April the 22nd at 4:48. In fact, they've got to arrive at 4:48, so take off 10 hours at 4:48 in the morning, and they've arrived early enough to beat Maiden. Okay, so that's still the target figure. You just got to remember 5 o'clock in the morning on April the 22nd, and they should be able to beat Maiden or thereabouts, very close, within minutes. And at the moment, their average speed is dropping, so therefore it's getting harder and harder. So watch this space, but that's how you can work out whether Maiden are going to scoop the pool on IRC overall for the OGR, and that is the number 1 prize. So Esprit de Helsinki, they're out of the game now, 18 hours. So Maiden is 17 hours faster than them overall on IRC. And the others, even though they're still sailing, you can see here it's going to be really challenging because Galliano with secure 5.6 knots, it's 186 days. If they picked up and got 9 or 10 knots, you can work it out. Average speed on the distance they've got to sail, they could actually jump everyone and win, but it's highly unlikely. So everyone else down here is still in the rankings, including, not Explorer, because Explorer's out of the ranking, but White Shadow's still there, 198 days. So you can see there's a bit of a grey area here, and that you can only really declare someone once they've finished, but you can get a good indication and you can see exactly what needs to be achieved by Triana, who's the only one that's realistically got a chance against Maiden now of winning, and that will all play out over the next few days. Okay, that's enough of that. We went through that yesterday, so if I come back here, and hit this. I'm back on track. And I can say g'day, and we're working on the press release at the moment, or Jane is, Jack and everyone. They will do the French and back to it in the release. And Jane's trying to put it up ready for the website, and it'll go out in the next hours. And tonight we might all get some sleep. Hi, Kylie. Yeah, Maiden, amazing. Quite incredible. When was Explorer? What did Mark report? You've heard the last call. That's all on SoundCloud. And then we get the tweets. So they tweet all sorts of things, what they're cooking for the day, or the fact that they're using a blow-up globe for navigation and things like that. So that you get exactly what we get. We don't have any other calls with them and give them any advice or opinions. So, but we know they're safe. The tracker's there. They can call us anytime if they want to. So they're carrying on regardless, but it's pretty amazing. Maybe Explorer skipper and crew have decided to do a Metesia, but heading to the Caribbean. Maybe. Who knows? What's the... This is iCloud photos. I'm not sure what that is. That could be spam. I'm not sure. Thanks, Stella. Whatever it is. Hello from Ireland. It could be a virus too. No idea. Pekka. G'day. Simon Child. It's amazing what's happening with the OGR though. I've been very busy and I'm really struggling to keep up. Just dipped in quickly now. Keep up the good work, Don and all. Yeah, it's interesting. I've had quite a few people came over for the various boats that have finished so far, and I've had some interesting discussions with them about the coverage. Everyone's telling us this is amazing. You know, they not hard to keep up, but they're really enjoying the coverage that we provide. And there's a few things here that we struggle with the concept, and that's that we restrict what the entrants can put out. And we do that on purpose, because if you get open slather, you can just get overload too much, and then you don't follow it all. But the little tweets tell you everything you need to know about what's happening, and you've got to imagine what's going on. And the videos every week, I think, are good. We're going to double that in 2027. Instead of 3 minutes, we're going to give them 6 minutes, which could be bordering on too much. Because if we've got, 24 boats all putting out 6 minutes of video every week, that's a lot of viewing, and people just won't watch it all. But I think 6 minutes is usable. And, there's enough information to keep following what's happening, and it is a lot of work for us to get it out there. Jane's up all hours, but that's a team thing. People think that that we're a huge organisation with huge budgets and all that sort of stuff. A lot of people think that's the same with the entrants as well. People think that some of the entrants have got huge amounts of money and huge budgets. It's not the case. A lot of the entrants are really struggling, and I won't say we're really struggling, but we're not. We have no, sponsors of substance. We've got people helping us, and we've got volunteers working for us, and we've got all sorts of stuff going on. And no one really makes any money out of the OGR. We're not here to, how do I get under this subject? Anyway, we're not here for the money, put it that way. Don't laugh if I tell you the reality. But anyway, so thanks, Simon. Yes. Has Mark got relatives in North America? Maybe. There was a radio call and Finnish horn on the squadron line. Yeah, I know there was a radio call, but we didn't get it on the boat. We had the charter boat, and I checked they were on channel 74, but for whatever reason, it never came across. So we are focused on what's going on. And then I felt really bad because I couldn't work out where it was. I said, hang on, I should have been back there, but I haven't heard anything. And the live must sound really strange, as if we're really competent race organisers. So sorry about that. But anyway, we all had a bit of fun. And usually I do hear it, but I just had my VHF, but it was in the bag because they had 2 radios on the boat. But anyway, thanks, Gail. Yeah, we do have an excellent team. Everyone on the team is great. So Don, it's a video of Maiden crossing the finish line. Oh, it's not spam. Thanks, Stella. We do get occasional spams. I wasn't suggesting it was. I just think, I wonder if it's spam, because I haven't seen you pop up. But thank you very much, Stella. So anyone wants to see Maiden crossing the finish line, including the sound on the Royal Yacht Squadron horn, Stella's put it up for us, which is really great. Thank you. Okay, that's it. So we'll see you again tomorrow, and be thinking of Outlaw tonight, sailing with a jury rig backstay, and Sterner sailing with a jury rig D2 and a jury rigged runner. And we're thinking of Explorer, and just simply asking why. Okay, see you later. I better get out of here before I get into trouble. Pressing the wrong button. See ya.